Welcome to the SCP Foundation Classified Briefing. Today's subject, SCP-2317, A Door to Another World. Please like and subscribe for more essential intelligence. SCP-2317 was initially discovered during a deep geological survey in the Pacific Rim, presenting as a monolithic, impossibly ancient reinforced concrete chamber designated SCP-2317. This chamber, located approximately 300 meters below the surface, contains a single, colossal door. Initial containment protocols dictate that this entire chamber is to remain hermetically sealed, accessible only via a multi-layered airlock system requiring Level 5 authorization and an immediate emergency response team on standby. Automated environmental sensors continuously monitor the chamber's interior for any fluctuations in pressure, temperature, or exotic energy signatures. No direct personnel interaction with the door itself is permitted under any circumstances. All observations are strictly remote. Its structural integrity is perpetually assessed, and any anomalous emanations from within are immediately flagged as potential breaches. Adherence to these protocols is non-negotiable. Your failure could precipitate a catastrophic event. The structure referred to as Door 2317A is not a conventional entrance. It is a primal gateway, composed of an unidentified, non-Euclidean alloy. It radiates a subtle, continuous anti-gravitational field that necessitates constant recalibration of surrounding environmental controls. Its surface is devoid of any discernible seams, hinges, or locking mechanisms, leading researchers to conclude it operates on principles entirely alien to our understanding of physics. The data retrieved from behind this monolithic barrier, though fragmentary and corrupted, consistently points to a realm of immense, predatory forces, utterly inimical to baseline reality. This anomaly is not merely a contained object, it is a pressure plate, and its seal is the only thing preventing a multidimensional incursion event. You are to treat any perceived weakening of Door 2317A as an immediate, paramount emergency. The consequences of this gateway opening are irreversible and apocalyptic, transcending any current theoretical threat model. Its integrity is paramount, and your unwavering diligence is the only line of defense. The discovery at SCP-19 marked a critical shift in our understanding of SCP-2317, revealing its influence extends far beyond its immediate containment chamber. While Door 2317A remained physically sealed, personnel at SCP-19 began reporting anomalous phenomena, localized temporal distortions, minor gravitational fluctuations, and brief, inexplicable sensory hallucinations. These incidents, initially logged as isolated reality-bending events, escalated in frequency and intensity. Subsequent cross-referencing with telemetry data from Site-2317 established a chilling correlation. Each spike in reality-bending events at SCP-19 coincided precisely with subtle, minute pressure variations detected on the exterior of Door 2317A. This unprecedented connection demonstrated that the anomaly's integrity is intrinsically tied to the stability of local spacetime. It is not just a portal to another world. It is actively eroding the boundaries of our own. You must comprehend that seemingly minor shifts in containment readings are harbingers of potential large-scale existential threats. The initial breach, though brief and quickly contained, offered a horrifying glimpse into the reality beyond Door 2317A. Following a pronounced surge in localized spacetime fluctuations and a corresponding spike in Door 2317A's exterior pressure readings, a microfracture manifested within the otherwise impenetrable surface. Through this momentary aperture, a tendril-like pseudopod, composed of an unknown, transdimensional biomass, extended into our dimension. It possessed extreme corrosive properties, instantly vaporizing contact materials, and exhibited a rudimentary, predatory sentience, attempting to expand the breach. Containment protocols were immediately enacted, utilizing tailored reality anchors and a high-frequency sonic deterrent to force its retraction and seal the fracture. The incident underscored the entity's opportunistic nature and the extreme pressure it exerts on the dimensional barrier. This encounter confirmed that the reality erosion observed at SCP-2317 was not a side effect, but an active precursor to attempted incursions. You must internalize that every containment parameter exists to prevent a recurrence of such an event, and its escalation. The analysis of the pseudopod's composition and the persistent dimensional stressors emanating from Door 2317A provided critical insight into the true nature of the entity attempting to breach our reality. It became evident that the tendril was merely an attenuated extension of a vastly larger, immensely destructive, transdimensional organism, designated by some as the Devourer of Worlds. This entity, theorized to exist in a higher dimensional space, possesses an inherent ability to consume and assimilate entire realities, converting them into a form of raw energy or biomass for its sustenance. The pressure exerted on Door 2317A is not merely an incidental force. It is the constant, crushing gravitational and reality-warping presence of this colossal being, pressing against the fabric of our universe. Its very existence destabilizes local space-time, as witnessed at SCP-19. Therefore, containing Door 2317A is not merely about preventing a breach. It is about preserving this reality from total consumption. You must understand the scale of the threat. Failure is not an option. Following the identification of the entity as a cosmic devourer, Project Kronos was initiated, a multifaceted attempt to either permanently seal Door 2317A or neutralize the entity through a variety of theoretical and applied anomalous means. Initial efforts included the deployment of reality-bending weaponry designed to sever its connection to our dimension, along with localized temporal distortion fields intended to freeze or reverse the entity's influence. All attempts proved futile. The anomaly demonstrated complete resistance to conceptual severance, and temporal attacks merely caused a momentary acceleration of its dimensional pressure, resulting in intensified microfracturing along the door's surface. Subsequent proposals, including interdimensional warfare agents and exotic matter destabilization, were deemed too high risk, potentially exacerbating the breach. The entity's resilience and adaptive capabilities confirmed that direct termination is presently impossible. Our current strategy, therefore, remains one of perpetual, rigorous containment. You must understand that every element of the containment procedures is a last resort to a problem we cannot eliminate. The classification of the entity beyond Door 2317A as a Devourer of Worlds proved accurate in describing its destructive potential. However, deeper analysis, particularly through interpretation of esoteric textual fragments recovered from associated anomalous sites, suggests a more terrifying truth. This entity is not merely an indiscriminate force of nature. It is believed to be one of the 7 brides, or heralds, of the Scarlet King, an extra-dimensional meta-entity of immense malevolence. Its incessant pressure against our reality is not solely for sustenance, but serves as an act of cosmic subjugation, a prelude to a larger, more orchestrated incursion. This connection elevates the threat from a localized, albeit universe-threatening phenomenon, to a component of a hostile, pan-universal assault on existence itself. The implications are profound. Our struggle is against an intelligent, malevolent force, not just a ravenous beast. You are defending not just Earth, but the very concept of our dimension's autonomy. Understanding this greater context is crucial for comprehending the absolute necessity of our mission. Every breach attempt is an act of war by an entity serving a far greater darkness. The psychological impact of extended assignment to SCP-2317 cannot be overstated. Understanding that our containment efforts are not a permanent solution, but a prolonged delay against an entity of such cosmic malevolence, inevitably takes a significant mental toll. Personnel frequently exhibit symptoms of existential dread, vicarious trauma, and profound hopelessness. The revelation of its connection to the Scarlet King has only intensified these effects, shifting the perceived threat from a natural disaster to a deliberate, hostile intelligence. You must be prepared for this inherent psychological burden. Regular, mandatory psychological evaluations are implemented not as a punitive measure, but as a critical component of maintaining operational effectiveness. Failure to report distress or to utilize the Foundation's comprehensive mental health support systems constitutes a direct threat to the integrity of containment. Your personal resilience is an indispensable asset in this ongoing, critical defense. Do not underestimate the enemy's capacity to undermine resolve through the sheer weight of its existential threat. The core of our long-term strategy for SCP-2317, designated Procedure 220 Calabasas, is not conventional containment in the strictest sense. Instead, it is a series of meticulously observed ritualistic actions designed to maintain the integrity of the 7 seals that bind the entity. These seals, as you are aware, are not physical barriers, but metaphysical constructs, each tied to a specific requirement for its continued effect. The final protocol, refers to the grim necessity of actively applying these measures, even those demanding extreme sacrifices, to prevent the irreversible dissolution of the 7th seal. Failure to execute these rituals precisely, on schedule, or with the designated components, would initiate a full-scale incursion by the Scarlet King's Herald, rendering all previous containment efforts moot. You must understand that this is not about sealing a door. It is about perpetually renewing a mystical barrier through a carefully orchestrated, abhorrent act of faith. This deception, the pretense that we are containing in a conventional manner, is critical to maintaining operational morale and public ignorance of the true, dire nature of our struggle. The integrity of Procedure 220 Calabasas is non-negotiable. We have discussed the true nature of SCP-2317, not merely a doorway, but a countdown to an apocalyptic incursion by the Scarlet King. Our efforts, embodied in Procedure 220 Calabasas, represent humanity's final gambit against an existential threat. You now understand that your role is not to merely observe or guard, but to actively participate in a cosmic deception, ensuring the integrity of the 7 seals through abhorrent yet absolutely necessary ritualistic maintenance. Every single action, every duty performed within Site-13, directly contributes to delaying the inevitable. The threat it poses is absolute. Its success means the annihilation of our reality. The weight of this knowledge is immense, but the responsibility you carry is paramount. Your vigilance, adherence to protocols, and psychological fortitude are the only barriers preventing utter catastrophe. Never lose sight of the stakes involved, for the fate of all existence rests upon the continuation of our deception. This concludes your classified briefing on SCP-2317-A, Door to Another World. Stay vigilant. Foundation personnel dismissed.